Hello everybody and welcome back to Create Above and Beyond. Since we last left off, I've created the beautiful Ethical Center for Testificate Propagation, or the BECTP. Make sure to like the video for incredibly beautiful above ground structures. And also check out our sponsor, qualitycontent.com, for the new drop while supplies last. Link in the description. Now I'm sure you're all wondering where I got the inspiration for the BECTP. And the answer is, I'd been through all the villagers in the village. There were none left. I needed efficiency 5. I needed to make it faster to mine out our basement factory. So I created the BECTP. Look, it is very ethical. It has windows. You can see out. There is natural light that's propagating through the openings, in the stairs, in the trapdoor. It's a beautiful, safe place. No zombies can make it in here, and they love it. Here, this is one of the children who's now no longer a child, so congratulations, happy parents. Let me get some more emeralds really quick. I didn't actually come over here to do any more trades, although if I brought my emeralds, I would have been able to buy another Efficiency 5 book from our other child who has gone on to just be an absolute prodigy. Oh, frick. I added mending on my axe since last episode. I need to make sure to hold it in my hand so I can get some regen on it. Good job, bud. Good job. Wait, you got more trades in stock? I brought over some wood just so we could, have some here and not have to try to remember to bring it over every time because inevitably I forget to do so. There we go. Let's get that axe regenning. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your stay in the BECTP. And now I'm just gonna go and show you the Efficiency 5 boyo over here, who is having a great time in a house all to himself. Look at that. Efficiency 5, 38, not terrible. I mean, it could be 64, right? It could be much, much worse. I ran into Efficiency 4 for like 40 emeralds on the way cycling, and I almost kept it, and boy, am I glad I didn't. So anyway, our axe is pretty much maxed out. We're all good to go, and I've used it to mine now. All in all, we're sitting on a pretty good amount of emeralds now, so we can get another Efficiency 5, we get some more mending, whatever we want. Eventually, I'll find diamonds, be able to make a set of diamond armor, and oh no, I saw Protection 4 for like 17 or something like that while I was cycling, and I had to skip it because I was like, Efficiency 5 is needed. We're not fighting that much and losing our health. So also I mined some more ores in between. We've got a bunch of iron that's processing here. So I figure we're gonna need it for the machines that we have to make. So let me show you what I've done with the Efficiency 5 pickaxe. You're gonna be underwhelmed. I haven't actually mined out that much. I got it pretty recently, but I spent most of my time just, setting up all the factory blocks on what we'd currently made. I got this little bridge going over the conveyor belt, feeding into the deployers. I cleared this area out for whatever we're gonna get into here, which is probably some resin generation and then maybe getting into the early steps of chapter 2. But speaking of that, let me start to, unlock the next stuff. So if we go into the overview, there's actually a section here specifically about rubber for belts. I think we should unlock this section. It probably would have been good to do earlier because it would have been a good way for us to get belts without having to go punch goldenrod 10 million times. So that unlocks a subsection here, and it kind of shows us, oh wait, don't chop goldenrod or whatever else you could have been using. So we want to get arboreal extractors. I've seen this recommended in the comments on a bunch of videos leading up to this point. And then we're going to use those to get resin from the trees, and that'll be an ongoing supply of the rubber, which we can use not only for the belts, but also for another mechanism that I guess goes into these copper machines, which I'm sure we're gonna need for some of the pipes and tanks and things like that. We should also, we completed the main line on chapter 1, so chapter 2, the chicken and egg problem remains. In order to automate precision mechanisms for brass equipment more conveniently, having more brass equipment would be really useful. After hitting the check mark above, the second chapter of the factory guide will become accessible. Chapter 2, let's go. All right, so what have we got in here? Chapter 2 start. The automation target this time is the electron tube. Placing them onto the kinetic mechanism will send you to the next tier. Happy inventing. Time to get a builder's tee, dude. I'm ready for this. So the alloy mixer, so we wanna get brass going alongside of what we're doing here. So the goal here is the brass machine, right? And the interesting part about it is the only place brass is actually involved is in the brass casing. The precision mechanism involves no brass. It just takes the kinetic mechanism and you apply a couple electron tubes and then a screwdriver. So kind of a similar sequence to what we do to make the kinetic mechanism to begin with, but you just do like an upgrade to it essentially. Right now, we're sitting at 55 stacks of kinetic mechanisms, which is pretty dope. Now, I will say, what we have now is our limiting resource is the clay. So I've gone and expanded this a bit. We now have 9 strainers in here, which I'm gonna have to, try to keep track of. Now, you can hopper into the side of the strainer base, is what I'm being told. I haven't tried it yet. Now that we have a bunch of iron, I could set it up. It does leave this middle strainer as a bit of a problem, but I suppose I could just put a couple strainers here and here maybe and just kind of forget about the middle for the time being. It's still our limiting factor. So what I've done is I've slowed down the deployers a little bit in the interest of building a buffer, but it would seem that our buffer is slowly depleting now that we're relying on additional clay to generate from this. So the options are add more strainers, but I don't have the rice generation to supply all the nets for this, which is the problem. So I think I'm going to need to at some point expand the rice generation. There we go, lots of iron. Let's get this going again, just get more nets made. I think I'm gonna have to expand rice production, figure out at some point how to automate the whole net production, which I think we're gonna need mechanical crafters in order to do, because it's the only way we're gonna actually craft the nets from the rice resources that they require. So this is gonna be kind of an ongoing pain point for us, and I'm concerned a little bit that once we get through the buffer here, we may end up getting a backup on this, because it might fail to create the kinetic mechanism, and instead it'll just send the incomplete one and it'll clog. At which point I can manually clear it up and it'll have allowed more buffer to build. But anyway, 55 stacks of kinetic mechanisms is probably a pretty good place to start regardless. All right, I've rambled on a whole bunch. I want to, before we start in on chapter 2 stuff, I do think it'll be helpful to just be able to make belts all the time without issue. So I do want to do this arboreal extractor setup situation, and I don't think it'll be too hard to do. All right, so for the challenge, it says 4 arboreal extractors. I think I'm gonna go with 8, and I'll put them around 2 trees. And, in the interest of just simplifying the pipe setup and making it so we don't have stuff running above and below ground, we can't go too far in this direction of the factory because we'll hit the ocean. So what I'm gonna do is just set up a little underground double tree farm, and I'm gonna grow a couple trees in here. And I think that the resin generation from the extractors is just perpetual, so we don't have to worry about the trees decaying, regrowing them, anything like that. So let me get some trees in here. It is very nice having efficiency 5 now. So I think a tree here, a tree here. I don't think the size matters, just that they exist, and you can put the extractors at the bottom of them. So we'll get a couple trees grown down here and hope that it works. And then the extractors are an andesite machine plus a bucket. So part of the reason why I went and grabbed a bunch of iron in between episodes. And yeah, we get lots of andesite machines now. That's not really a problem for us anymore with our 55 stacks of kinetic mechanisms. Okay, so I need to make 8 buckets. And now let's make, I should probably just bring a smithing table into there, shouldn't I? That's the wrong thing. There we go. Arboreal extractors. Beautiful. I feel like in a lot of series, I've always, when there is an opportunity to, you're gonna frick up one of my things, dude, stop. I'm sorry. I know you're upset. I'm just laying at that, but they can clog up the machines. They keep coming up to the surface, even though I've tried to create more of a gap there, or less of a gap there. And okay, anyway, in series, I know there's always better chances to automate things. And I feel like I never go and do it to full capacity. And I'll tell you, it feels good here to have that. And I do want to improve the clay generation, but I know my future self is gonna thank me for having done this, because it's going to save so much time in the future. Obviously, the quests say, make sure you do this, but at the same time, you can kind of just, if you wanted to, you could just hit the checkbox on the quests here without actually having done the work. And are you not work? Do you not like it being underground? What's wrong, dude? What's wrong? Come on. It's really refusing to grow. And in the interest of not just wasting all of the bones that I've acquired so far, are you really gonna force me to just do this up on the surface? You're gonna force me to do this up on the surface, whatever. But you win. You win, nature, okay? I got a quest completed, keeping in shape. I don't know how did you get in here? Are you trying to bring me a flower? What if he picks up a thing that he shouldn't pick up? I can't risk that. Even though he's bringing me a flower. Oh, I'm really torn. Okay, you're on thin ice, buddy. You keep carrying that flower and you're good. As soon as you steal another block, it's game over. All right? I'm watching you. Oh no, we freaking don't. No! I got the take aim advancement as well on one of the two mans there. I thought, oh, that was a little terrifying. Okay, so I know this is why people are like, hey, you should probably be smart and claim chunks. That would be a good idea. It probably would be a good idea. I just haven't done it yet. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna use this as the, this is where the pipe is gonna go down, but whatever, I'm gonna put the trees on top. You win. You win this time, trees. You better cooperate up here. There we go. Okay, that's one, and then that's two. We got the little guy, the me, and then this guy, the everyone who isn't me. Size comparison. You get the idea. Okay, so so the arboreal extractors, I believe, need to be placed at the bottom of the tree. And then, yeah, it illuminates with the little yellow icon showing that it is, in fact, operating. And then it just slowly does things. As far as I am aware, I believe it doesn't need any power or anything like that. It just do, which... Can't tell if it's just because of the lighting from the leaves. It seems, is it brighter here than it is? No, it's pretty much the same. All right, so I'm figuring, just putting one on each area around the base. I'm hoping that one was oriented in the right direction. And then you, and then you, and then what we'll need to do is we're gonna need to get fluid pipes coming out of each of these, and then we're gonna pipe it down there, and we're gonna need a mechanical pump. There we go, 25 millibuckets of resin. It just works on its own, which is always very much appreciated. Finally, after we've accumulated all this copper, we get to put it to use. And by all this copper, I mean my almost 2 stacks. It's a lot of copper. Okay, it really is. I worked hard. I grinded for this copper. Okay, so we need to, let's just press. I guess we need to have more pressed than we have just in ingot form. And I actually think I can take this mechanical press, the secondary one that I've had here sitting for us making the rubber, and I can just go ahead and repurpose it and move it over to that area. And then we'll get the whole system automated, because the way that it works, if we want to do the rubber, so we're going to have bulk blasting on the rubber, which gives it to the cured rubber, which we use for the belts directly. The rubber comes from, you can do on the next page, you can just compact resin, and then it just goes, which is interesting. You don't mix it, you just smash it. But hey, whatever works, right? All right, let's get stack of fluid pipes. That should hold us over for a bit, because we're not just needing fluid pipes for this. We'll also need them for the chapter 2 stuff. And then the mechanical pipes, we'll just need, let's just make 5 of them so that we have it. Now, I admittedly, I don't know too much details about the mechanical pipes in terms of how far away they can pull fluid, if they have a particular range, depending upon how much stress is being inputted into them. So we're gonna learn together how it all kind of works and stuff like that. Oh, also, I did replace, as you can see, some of the belts I had set up here with encased chain drives to save some of the belts, even though now hopefully we're going to be able to get up to the point where we have a good supply of those. But I'm trying to listen to the comments for optimization, improvement, things like that. So, all right, we need to get the, we're going to need to bring some movement over to here and get the pipes wired up. All right, so cool stuff with the pipes is that when you wrench them, it'll turn into being able to see through it, right? I think it's kind of nice. You'll actually see the fluid as it travels through. Less important up here, but now that I've done it on one, I feel like I kind of have to make the whole thing symmetrical. And that should be able to take out of both. And then we can feed in here and just kind of create a big 8. Why did you place there? I don't know why you placed that. I didn't tell you to place there. Create a big 8 surrounding all of the extractors. And are you noticing I'm trying to say arboreal as little as possible, because I know I'm gonna just totally tongue twist myself and say it incorrectly. Okay, see, I think it's cool to frick. Nope, don't water a lot. Wrong thing. No, frick, I didn't mean to shift. Just to right click. I'm always inclined to shift right click things, and I really need to not do that, especially when I'm using the wrench, because it goes very badly. All right, so none of the resin is gonna get pulled. These pipes are gonna do nothing until we get the mechanical pump running attached to them. And this again is where I'm I don't know entirely what the limitations on this are, but hopefully we'll get it working. There you have it. It looks like we've gone through our buffer. So actually though, it hasn't clogged up or anything. It's so nice of the slab. It just pauses there and waits until the andesite is ready. So I think it's actually fine. It's just slowed the production, but it hasn't broken the process at all, and we're still getting more. So it's really just, I have to up the speed on the clay. That's really the limiting factor. So we'll work on it. Anyway, I brought the pipe down here. We have obviously, you know, rotation coming through here. I'm hoping that it's just gonna be like a super easy setup where basically we're gonna put down the mechanical press, I don't know, right here, I suppose. And then we're basically just gonna feed the resin into it and hope that it works, which it should. So in the interest of making things beautiful, I've decided to actually bury the shaft underground so that you don't have to look at it, and it will just silently and discreetly provide power and torque that we need over here. Now, I know there might be some objectionable feedback about the Bektepe, which is, honestly, it's very disappointing because I worked extremely hard on the design of that. But regardless, some of you, I'm hoping, will maybe appreciate the underground factory design if perhaps you didn't appreciate the Bektepe for all that it's worth. So, you know, we'll just have two different styles here. I think, you know what, let me bring the pipe back and see if we can kind of hit both the mechanical pump and the press kind of in the same hit with the different cogs. So I'm gonna relocate that. I realized I hadn't shown putting down the mechanical pump. It's, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward thing. It basically, you just wrench it, and please go in the right direction. Thank you. There you go. So right now it's designated by the arrows, so it's pointed in the right direction. If I were to take the wrench, I could flip it around. Depending upon the input that I give it here, it might actually reverse it, I think. Nope, it's still going down, which is good. Oh God, wait, stop. I don't actually, nope. I don't want fluids pouring out. I'm not sure if that's actually a possibility, but I'd like to avoid it just in case. And then I could actually just move the, I don't know, maybe move the pump to right here, in the interest of conserving space, so we have as much room as possible to do anything over here, and then we can get some rotation going into that as well. Just kidding, actually, we're gonna try to be really efficient with our allocation of gears here. I'm hoping if I now do that, it's not gonna mess up. No, good, there we go. Okay, we have both powered there, and now let me just connect from here to the back there and hope that we start seeing, there we go. Oh, look, it's happening. It's happening. And is it going in? Wait for it. Come on. Yeah, we're going. It's filling. Yo, it's pressing. It's rubber. Perfect. Let's go. Okay, so now obviously we need to take this out and just have it going into a belt that is going to get blasted by an encased fan. Oh yeah, I'm sure you noticed over here, I didn't necessarily point it out, but yeah, I did put glass around this so I wouldn't be incinerating myself all the time. It's worked tremendously well, so I might do the same thing over here. I don't know how quickly this thing is going to back up and just have a gazillion rubber that's just sitting in there, so I may have to work quickly, or alternatively, let me just stop this real quick while I work on getting the encased fan going. But see, now it's pounding the rubber into the full blocks, which is not what we want, because then it won't go into the same drawer. But wait, this is, oh my God, it's so much easier doing this than going and getting the golden rods. You know what? I've just realized that our andesite cobblestone has also run dry. So, okay, we might have to work on that. I'm really actually, it just worked out really well that I put the andesite at the final step here. Otherwise, as soon as it ran out, we would have had the others start inserting into it and it would have messed up the whole thing. So, yeah, I thought about that at the beginning, totally thought about that. I kind of like that now that we've moved the other mechanical press over there. This is just kind of, you know, unobstructed. We get a nice clear view of our setup over here. I just need some of this in order to make the fans for the encased fan. I guess I just really need only one encased fan, right? But I don't know. Make a couple of propellers just so we have one ready to go. Because I'm sure, actually, you know, I should just set up an encased fan just to be able to smelt things, because it'll just make it quicker to take care of basic tasks like, you know, turning cobblestone into stone and stuff like that. But we'll see. Anyway, I still can't believe all of this is happening off of our one windmill, and I have a feeling we're gonna have to add an opposite side at some point really soon. Anyway, so we have this shaft right here stepping down a couple speeds in order to do the conveyor belt here, so I can actually get that rolling if I want to. And then I'm just having the shaft continue on through here, and then we should just be able to do gear there, and then I think just a couple of vertical gearboxes, one there, and then connect it, and there we go. Fan's blowing in the right direction, and then I think let's just do one more belt, right there, and then have it lead into a drawer with an upgrade, and then we just gotta funnel it, and that should work. Okay, need more lava. I kind of enjoy coming down here though, then getting to ride the conveyor belt back up, even if it hurts my head now when we make it back to the top, because I closed the gap. I was like, if I make the gap even smaller to try to avoid getting bats in, will it prevent me from getting in? And the answer is no. But then it also means the bats are probably still getting through if it can fit me. And I just get crushed, but you know, it's fine, right? You know, I should start doing heavy-weighted pressure plates for these. I feel like it would look much more along with the factory theme using metal. I wanted to get the blocks here in place so I don't have to shift things around lava. Okay, time to make another fire safety hazard here. How exciting. Okay, so ow, I just instantaneously I do it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. All right, I hope the belt's going slow enough and it has enough exposure time here, but let's see. It's gonna be moment of truth here in just a second. So we get you going, and then we get this pumping. Oh, can you go connect on top? Connect on top. Got it. Okay, here goes nothing. All right, it should start pumping. It like takes time. It's not instantaneous, but it's pointed in the right direction. There should be a lot more resin. It should start pulling, and there it goes. Look, oh, it's so cool. God, Create just does, oh my God, it just looks like, I don't know, looks like honey just coming down a straw or something like that. Oh, I love how you just see the beginning of the fluid actually going in. Okay, so now it's gonna crush. Look, okay, the only thing I'm worried about is if this is too fast, but I'm hoping it's not. We might have to expand the range on this thing, but we'll see. Please tell me it's good. Please tell me it's good. Please tell me it's good. Come on. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Yes. It's working. I want to make sure that they're all, yep, it look, oh my God, it's like, it's the perfect speed / range on the lava. And there we go, cured rubber. Now I can grab the other cured rubber that I have sitting over here. All right, and now this can just be a spot for us to be able to fetch belt making stuff. Okay, so now I don't have to be like, oh, I should use the encased chain drive instead of using a belt, because belts are a limiting resource, because now we have this. Heck yeah, it's obviously, it's gonna be slow going unless we bring in even more of the resin generation from the trees. So I can add more over time, but I figured that this was like a good place to start it, and then we get another dosage coming in. Oh, it's so cool being able to like see into the pipes and stuff like that. All right, so that is rubber automated, and cool. We can basically check this stuff off. The final thing, of course, was to take a kinetic mechanism and turn it into a sealed mechanism here. So why don't we grab 2 of those? Can I grab it? I think I have to grab it from the front side over here. Frick! I don't want to put myself in the machinery. And then grab one of these. The only downside at the end of the day is like how spread out it's going to end up being with all these different resources I have to grab. So maybe we consolidate at some point, but there we have it. Sealed mechanism, all done. I just have to, you know, hit the check boxes on the way when I have the corresponding things. I have the rubber in my inventory, but okay, there we go. We got the rubber, that's good to go. The cured rubber, good to go. And then let me go fetch another one out of the system. If only it would remember that I've had one in my inventory at one point. And then the final thing is to make the copper machine, which is going to take a few more of these. But why don't we, before we worry about that, start looking into the first steps of chapter 2. I kind of want to try doing, like, finding a meteor at least and getting some of the skystone. So it says you can just keep on pulverizing it. Skystone blocks never seem to lose mass in the process. What a world we live in. Find skystone blocks at a meteor crash site. If you haven't encountered any, try looking for one using the meteorite compass. Okay, why are we? I'm pretty sure we've seen a meteor. Did we see a meteor in episode 1? We were just scoping out the area. I think it was like over in that direction, but I guess I should just go take a look. I'm sure we'll find it again. Oh no! Claim your chug straw, Dodd. That way if a creeper ever blows up, then it won't cause any damage to happen. Frick. Okay, good as new. Yes, I'm going to claim my chunks now, because that seems like a good idea. This is what I get for procrastinating. I have nobody to blame. But myself, I suppose I should carry it over even to here. All right, good. Now, let's go find that meteor. I don't know why I thought I ran into a meteor at some point. I went back and skimmed episode 1 and pretty sure I didn't see one. I might be thinking of my test world, maybe, and just getting them mixed up and blended together. But yeah, should I have gone and made the meteor compass? It may not have been a terrible idea to do. But hey, maybe there's some cool stuff we could find by exploring. Anyway, without a particular direction to head in. Yeah, okay. This would have been a lot easier to do than go rambling, searching around aimlessly. Yeah, I'm gonna go make that. 1 sec, be right back. Andesite machine and charged Certus quartz. There we go, meteorite compass. All right, point me in the right direction. I guess there's one that way. Yeah, I was heading in literally the exact opposite direction. Oh, that's totally something I would do, isn't it? Cool. Wait, no, is there one right there? Is there actually, did I actually run into one on day 1? It's right, wait. Oh yeah, no, it's right there. Yeah, no, we did run it. Yeah, I skimmed past that part in the episode 1 video. Oh, no big deal, no big deal. Hey, there's some iron, right? That's good. We need to get more iron, and we love using Fortune 3 in order to get it. So thank you so much for that. Oh man, so cool. I'm gonna need some respiration here too. So I'm assuming that it's different here, right? In the past, when you found these and you had applied energistics, this is how you would find like the silicon presses and stuff like this. I'm assuming there's probably no chest in the center in this. Wait, there is, huh? Oh, you actually do get the presses still. Okay. I wonder if that's something that, like, I guess we must just use those to make all of the, you know, the drive circuitry and components in the future anyway. So I guess it's still the same applied energistics. It's just because it's in this mod pack, you get some changed recipes here and there. Like for the meteorite compass, usually you don't use a smithing table with an andesite machine. Believe it or not, that's not the usual way that it's done. The interesting part about this, look, so we do the sky stone, right? And when we process that in the milling, it gives itself back plus the sky stone dust. So you basically just like keep looping the sky stone back. So you don't even need that much because you're gonna keep basically duplicating over and over and over, and eventually you're just gonna have way too much of it. Sorry, I should say, I don't mean like actually duplicating it, but more so, do you need more than 1 sky stone per mill? Because I would assume that like once it's done processing, you just loop it right back around. It's just gonna get, you could almost get away with it being full efficiency by just having 2 of them, so that in that transit time when you're looping one back around, it's doing the other one, and then you just repeat the process over and over. All right, let me run you through my connect the dots concept. Okay, so we're gonna have a couple of drawers. This is gonna store the dust. This is gonna store the sky stone. The sky stone is going to get conveyor belted up here, and then it's going to follow this around until it gets, you know, passed off down into the millstone. All this is gonna be powered, obviously. And then the resultant sky stone plus the dust is gonna go right back onto the conveyor belt. The sky stone goes into here and it's gonna loop right around and do the whole thing again, whereas the dust is gonna go into this drawer, and then we'll have it exporting out into the next step of the process, which is to make the volatile sky stone, which we're gonna need to pump some water for, which should be easier to get in large quantities, more so than the resin. But we are up to 48 cured rubber, so hey, I can use all the belts that I want here, and I should be good. Okay, so the next step, I need to get the rotation wired over. Why are you here? Get out! Oh no, oh frick, I just realized it messed up my light because the red, oh. This is a problem for in between episodes, Jardon. Frick, I forgot about all about the reds. At least a creeper didn't spawn in here, although the chunks are claimed now, but oh, I can't believe that the creepers would do this to me. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Insult to injury. I have mobs spawning inside of my house now. All right, let me get this drawer locked, and then I think that we'll be good to go, right? Okay, so sky stone in here. Frick, wrong. Nope, stop. Don't go in there. Yep, sky stone, and then lock it. I suppose I could also lock this too, just in case. Get these going in there. And then, I don't know why those ejected. That doesn't seem like a good sign, but okay. Let's put that in there, get this going, and hopefully it'll work now. It doesn't have anything in it. Why are you working oh, you know what, I bet the Skystone clogged it up and there's something inside there that needs to be removed. There we go. Okay, now, please work. Pretty please work. You can do this, you can do this. Hopefully having the drawers locked is the solution to our problem. It makes sense that this stuff would take longer to grind because it's essentially like this infinitely repeating resource. But let's see. Okay, I do actually think it's working. I think once I unclogged some of the dust that got in there, it seems to be good, right? So yep, Skystone, and then it loops back around. We get the dust in that one, and then it keeps processing, right? Okay. I suppose you could speed it up if you were able to add multiple millstones and have them going simultaneously, but yep, there we go. You get both of it, loops back around. Okay, it's happening. It's working. It's not clogging. And we have infinite Skystone dust. There we go. We get one of each coming out each time, and then it loops back around, and there you have it. Okay, this is cool. I'll have to AFK for a very long time if I want to accumulate large amounts without making more and more millstones. But in principle, the whole thing is working. So, as always, we got to get ourselves some drawer upgrades, but I guess we definitely don't need to do it on the on this one, right? Because that's always just going to have probably 0 Skystone. This one will get an upgrade, though. I assume we're going to need a lot of these. This is cool, though. I like this infinite loop of our process here. Okay. That feels good, dude. So we got a couple processes going today. We now have sustainable rubber for belts. We can add more to the trees if we want to with more of the extractors. And then we have the Skystone ready to go. In between episodes, I promise I'll make things look a little bit cleaner, prettier, and that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to check out the playlist if you missed any other episodes you want to catch up. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you next time.